Iran seizes an American ship. This is Skywatch TV News for April 28th of 2015. I'm Derek Gilbert. Within the last hour, as I record this on the morning of April 28th, Al Arabiya Television, which is the state-owned television network in Saudi Arabia, reports that an Iranian force has opened fire and seized an American cargo vessel in the Persian Gulf, has directed that vessel to the port of Bandar Abbas, which is located right at the Straits of Hormuz, the choke point at the base of the Persian Gulf. This report is as yet unconfirmed. According to Al Arabiya TV, there were 34 American sailors on board the cargo ship, but there's no confirmation yet either from Iran or from the U.S. Fifth Fleet. The Fifth Fleet is based at Bahrain, which is about 311 nautical miles west of Bandar Abbas in the Persian Gulf. Now, by the time this hits the internet, this information may well be out of date. So keep an eye on the Skywatch TV Twitter feed today. And you see the address here on your screen. Our handle is Skywatch_TV at twitter.com. And we'll be posting updates as news reports come in. Again, the source of information to this point that all the news reports are directing to is Al Arabiya Television. This is the Saudi-owned television network, and it's important to remember when analyzing news the source of information and any biases that they may have. You know, of course, that the Saudi government, being Sunni, is opposed to the Iranian government, which is Shia. These are the two players, the big Muslim players for Middle East power, and they are struggling for power in the Middle East right now in places like Yemen, in Syria, and in Iraq. So there may be some benefit perceived by the Saudi government to influencing American opinion on Iran. Why? Because the U.S. Senate this week is scheduled to vote on a bill put forward by Senator Bob Corker of Tennessee called the Iran Nuclear Review Act. This would allow the U.S. Senate to review the nuclear deal negotiated by the Obama administration with Iran. And under this bill, the deal would take effect unless it is disapproved by Congress. Now, this is a big shift from the Senate's constitutionally appointed role as the body that approves all foreign treaties. So instead of the president and his administration having to convince a majority of United States senators that this is a good deal, now they only need to convince a third. This bill, presented by Republican Senator Bob Corker, would effectively lower the bar from 51 senators to 33 or 34. Why? Because if Congress disapproves the nuclear deal with Iran, President Obama would likely veto the bill. And under the Constitution, then, a two-thirds majority is required to overturn a presidential veto. Again, the bill presented by Bob Corker is essentially worse than if Congress didn't vote on this deal at all. So again, the timing of this event reported by the Saudi television network Al Arabiya is curious to say the least. And there is one other interesting development. Oil futures today have turned higher after opening lower on an expected report from the United States that our oil stockpiles here in the U.S. have reached another all-time high. The price now of UK North Sea Brent crude has climbed above $65 a barrel. In other news, a new software company out of Australia promises a virtual reality experience that would reunite users with their dearly departed loved ones. This is called Project Elysium, and it's presented or promoted as a personalized virtual reality afterlife experience. This would use the Oculus Rift virtual reality headset, which was introduced just over a year ago. The company that produces Oculus Rift was acquired by Facebook last March in a $2 billion transaction. Speaking of virtual reality, we could be living in a hologram. This is something that people like Chuck Missler and Josh Peck have been talking about for quite some time. This is the idea that everything in the world around us is merely a three-dimensional projection of information that in reality lives on a two-dimensional surface. This theory was first proposed in 1997, but all of the mathematical models to date contradicted accepted theories about the nature of the universe. But now, for the first time, scientists have developed equations that seem to prove that reality is actually a two-dimensional structure projected onto a distant cosmological horizon, or a screen, if you will. And the goal of researchers now is to try to figure out the the laws that control that screen or govern actions on that screen, they think once they do that, they'll be able to understand everything that there is to know about reality. Good luck with that. NASA may have accidentally invented the warp drive. They were experimenting on a new type of engine that would require no fuel called the M drive. And during this experiment, they fired lasers through the M drive's resonance chamber. And when they were through with the experiment, they discovered that some of the lasers, apparently, the light from the lasers, some of them, appeared to travel faster than the speed of light. The next step is to try to reproduce this experiment in a vacuum, since it is possible that the speed of light was affected by superheating the air in the resonance chamber. But if they can reproduce this, they may be on the first step toward discovering faster than light travel. And finally, the woolly mammoth could be making a comeback. Researchers have sequenced the genetic structure of the woolly mammoth, which went extinct some thousands of years ago. It would bring researchers one step closer to being able to clone a mammoth and de-extinctify the mammoth, perhaps by using a female elephant as a surrogate mother. Researchers said this may be possible. They're not sure it's possible. They're also not sure it should be done. There are others who are very excited about the idea because, after all, what could possibly go wrong? We appreciate your support here at Skywatch TV, and we'd like to thank you for your support. For a gift of any size to Skywatch TV to help us purchase more studio equipment as we prepare for Skywatch Women, the forthcoming program featuring women on Skywatch TV. For your gift of any size, we'd like to have send this hardback book to you about spiritual warfare. It's from Dr. Jack Graham. Unseen is the name of the book. Angels, Satan, Heaven, Hell, and Winning the Battle for Eternity. Again, for your gift of any size, while supplies last, we will send this hardback copy of Dr. Jack Graham's book to you as our way of saying thank you for your support of Skywatch TV. Tonight on the Christian Television Network, part 3 of our 5-part series, On the Path of the Immortals. Christian Television Network is on DirecTV Channel 376, Dish Network Channel 267, and the Glory Star Satellite Channel 117. It airs at 9:30 p.m. Eastern Time, 8:30 p.m. Central Time. That's UTC -4 and -5 if you're outside those time zones. And it also streams live at the Christian Television Network's website, ctnonline.com. Now, if you can't watch it live, you can always catch it in the archives. We archive all of our programs on YouTube, at the website, skywatchtv.com, and on Roku. And if you need instructions on how to add the Skywatch TV Roku channel to your Roku account, just visit skywatchtv.com/Roku. Keep watching. I'm Derek Gilbert, and this is Skywatch TV.